thoughts, the storylines as we head into week number 2 of the NFL, but week number 3 for college football, which is pretty crazy. Already almost a month into it. You got Jimothy and the best co-host in the business, Tubby, over here. We are grateful that you all joined us today. So make sure you talk about whatever it is that you got going on in your sports world, your team in the chat. Tubby will make sure we shout you out. But Tubby, welcome back to the show.
What's up? I'm just so glad it's football season.
Isn't it nice? I will say the weather was much better up until this week. It is disgusting again. I hate this. It was 90-something today, and we have been living in the 60s for a couple of weeks. So this is gross.
Yeah. What the weather people here said, it's the second summer. Well, I don't want second summer. I'm good with just one.
Pass. Yeah. Give me the Big Ten fall. That's what I want right now.
Yeah. Give me that colder weather. That's football. That's football weather, not 90s.
Yeah, no thanks. So, well, Tubby, we are going to jump into some college football action. It's not a huge weekend as far as matchups go. I mean, I will say I think it's better than last week, but I want us to start with one of the few top 25 matchups, but more importantly, South Florida versus Miami. Can South Florida do it again?
I mean, the way they played the first 2 weeks against, ranked opponents, I'm not going to say no, just because I didn't expect them to beat Boise State, didn't expect them to beat Florida. So if I don't expect them to beat Miami, maybe they're going to beat Miami also. So I'll say there's still a shot. I mean, the way that team is humming right now, I ain't going to put it past them if they upset Miami.
Yeah, Miami's 2 wins. Obviously, Notre Dame back in week 1, a close game, and then Bethune, I think is who it was last week. No, but a team that so the team that's coming in, I think, sharp right now, and has probably already ramped up for this competition is South Florida. But they are, I think it's like almost a 2-score, or no, it's 15-point underdogs. I know they're on the road. It's not that far a road game, but I still find that man, this South Florida team has been good. I'm just saying. Watch out. I think it'll be a close game, but Carson Beck has looked much, much better this year.
Yeah, Carson Beck has looked better this year than any point last year he did with Georgia.
Yeah. So in this game, you got Hurricanes, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the physicality of that defensive line, Ruben Baines has been an absolute monster the first couple weeks. So I think it's going to be tough because I don't think they've seen this caliber of edge rushing so far this year. And I think that's going to be the big turning point is going to be the defense for Miami.
Yeah. I do think Miami wins this game too. I think because Carson Beck has been as good as he has, it's also at home. I don't know that it's 2 scores. I think they do keep it closer. We'll see.
Yeah.
2 Florida teams go to another one. One is on the ropes. Florida Gators 1-1 going to. I mean, nothing like get it together. You got a week because you got to go play LSU on the road. The number 3 ranked Tigers. So this game, they're only 8-point favorites, 8.5, which is crazy. That LSU is right now with probably one of the top NFL-ready prospects with Garrett Nussmeier. But is this a team? I mean, they don't have a great running game, I don't think, yet for LSU. But do you see the opportunity here for maybe Florida to right the ship and pull off the upset on the road?
Start of the season, I would say this would be a good competitive game. Right now, the way they played against USF, I say no. I think they get trounced, and there's going to be a lot of heat with Billy Napier getting fired in the next couple of weeks.
Is it worse to lose to USF by 2 on a last-second field goal or to beat at home Louisiana Tech by 16 points?
It's worse because a loss is worse.
Okay, I'm just checking. Louisiana Tech is not good.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech's not good, but you still won the game. Yeah, I'll take a win over a loss any day, especially to no offense to USF, but USF. So you should have won that game if you're Florida. So I'll take the win any day.
Yeah. So in this one, do you expect it to be more than a 2-score game now?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know that I buy it yet. I believe LSU should get this thing rolling in a national contender, championship contender. That's what we said at the beginning of the season, even going into the offseason, just with the way the quarterback carousel has been this year for college football.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Florida Gators, if they just flipped the script and absolutely dominated again on the road, would it be? No. It would just be the ultimate Billy Napier thing to do when we were basically on the verge of getting fired by week 5.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what happened last year.
I know. So after this game, this is a must win because their next 4 games are all ranked opponents, including at LSU, at Miami, and then against Texas. That one's actually at home. Then they have at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That is a gauntlet. So it's a must win every single week for Florida. So they're gonna have to play like motivated and ready to go. And I do think this is a one-score game. I would not be shocked to see Florida pull off the upset after the disaster that we saw last week.
I mean, just like I said, at the beginning of the season, I thought this game would
Mhm.
be a real close game because I had more faith in Florida than what I saw last week. Definitely just destroyed any faith I had in Florida.
Yeah,
And so I think that we see LSU play their best football this year,
yeah,
this season, even better than they played against Clemson.
yeah. Yep.
And they come out and we see a high powered offense that maybe
Yeah.
we were expecting a little bit more of to start the season.
Was it 2 years ago? USF took them to the wire against Alabama, and that was the whole. Do we
Yeah.
start Simpson? Do we start Miller? I think it was 2 years ago. Is that right? Two
Yeah.
seasons ago, and and then Alabama started to right the ship afterwards. I'm not saying it's going to be copy and paste because it's different programs, different years, even different
Hmm.
quarterback situation. Not even putting someone else new in there. I just can't buy into it yet, but I can buy into the fact that I've seen him do it. And I think in that stretch of 4 games that are tough, I think they're going to get lucky to win 2. I think they
Yeah.
only get maybe 1, so they better get the
Hmm.
first one under their belt.
Yeah. I mean, this one is important. And even if you lose, at least get make it a close game. At
Mhm,
least show that you have that fight in you and that you can contend in the SEC and
mhm,
not be like what you were last year up until like was it week 7 where they finally went on like the few
mhm.
game run and took out Ole Miss and ended their college football playoff.
Yeah. Another one of the matches I want to mention was an SEC bout. It is South Carolina is hosting Vanderbilt. Your boy, your Heisman dark horse maybe is Diego Pavia. Has still had a really good start to the season going against Lenore Sellers, who's been a little bit like okay, just okay so far. This is a I would say Vandy doesn't have a shot to win the SEC, but you got to
Mhm.
sneak a couple wins here or there. Is this one of those that you could see South Carolina it's a late game too, so is it one that South Carolina kind of drops the ball a little bit on this one?
I, I don't think so. I think that Shane Beamer is great at getting his players ready to go and in these games. I think he is one of those coaches that doesn't look ahead, doesn't oh, we're playing Vandy, we can go ahead and count that as win. It's not that way anymore because we saw what Vanderbilt was able to do last year with Diego Pavia and
Mhm,
Sowers. They have some offensive weapons on that team. I just think that we're seeing maybe South Carolina start to get into something, and I, a big issue for them to start the season when we talked about them was the fact that you lost your entire offensive line, you lost your starting running back,
mhm,
and they're trying to figure it out. And so I think maybe this week we'll start seeing a little bit better of a South Carolina team. And honestly, a couple of those, the first couple of games, Lenore Sellers has not had help from his wide receivers. They have dropped several passes, and so not really given him the ability to really show off what he can do. So I
mhm.
think this week we see them come out ready to play and get the win.
Yeah. This game for Vandy, for the record, they both have already played Virginia Tech this year. One got them at
Mhm.
home, which was South Carolina 124-11. Vandy went on the road and dominated 44-20.
Mhm.
You look at that, both of them played an FCS opponent already. I don't know, man. I see this as give me the sneaky upset because I don't know that they have it all together. This is one of the closer ones. It's about a one-score game. It's about 5 point favor towards South Carolina, but I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I think there's something about what Diego Pavia brings to this team and the fact that they have a running game. We've
Mhm.
talked about this the last 2+ seasons in college football and in the NFL. If you cannot run the ball, you are too one-dimensional. And I think
Yeah.
Lenore Sellers is really good, but I haven't seen him be able to consistently take over a game. We've already seen this Vandy team go in on the road and beat a team, and not, obviously Virginia Tech is not South Carolina, but they've already gone on the road,
Yeah.
so they've got that thing. They're ramped up, into this game. I like this one as a possible upset alert.
Yeah, no, I think definitely think it's going to be a close game. I don't, like I said, this isn't the Vandy of early 2000s, 2010s, where it
Hmm.
was like, okay, well, there's Vanderbilt on the schedule. We can go ahead and mark that one as a win. Diego
It's
Pavia has
not that
brought in,
anymore.
yeah, no, he has brought a different energy to this program, and we saw it last year. No one expected them to beat Alabama, and they went in there. They took out Alabama at home. So I think that absolutely this could be an upset, but I'm gonna lean towards my Heisman, trophy winner and Lenore Sellers.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You kind of got to stick with him at this point. He just had a
Yeah,
couple Heisman moments, so maybe this
yeah.
could be one of them. The last second throw or something like that. So,
Yeah.
well, let's move on to another SEC top matchup. You got 15 Tennessee hosting Georgia Bulldogs, who are number 6 right now. You got Joey Aguilar, who's got this Tennessee team looking a lot like the one with Hendon Hooker
Yeah.
from a couple of quarterbacks ago. Gunnar Stockton, he's been pretty successful so far in Georgia's, I would say, soft start to the season. This is their first legit matchup.
Yeah.
But of these other games so far, legit. No disrespect to Marshall,
Yeah.
quality has not been there. I mean, it's not been a good ramp up for Georgia. So
No.
it's a road game. They haven't played. This is the best team by far that they're going to have played. It is right there at 2:30, so it's in the middle of the day. Who you got in this game?
Yeah, this game we're gonna see what both of these quarterbacks are made of. I mean, you got Gunnar Stockton going to an incredible atmosphere, loud stadium, and in Knoxville there, Neyland Stadium, and then we're gonna see what Joey Aguilar's got against a perennial defense,
Hmm.
where the numbers just because you were playing not good teams and
Hmm.
you just kind of balled out, or is he for real? And we're seeing that Josh Heupel offense functioning the way it normally would with a quarterback that can make those long, deep passes that Nico wasn't able to make last year, and where they had to rely so much on Dylan Sampson compared to the couple years before when we had Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton being able to air the ball out. So I, I'm going to take Georgia, but I think this is going to be a really, really close game,
Hmm.
just because the one thing about Tennessee I'm worried about is going to be the secondary. Granted, Georgia's not the biggest passing team, but your top two starting corners are out for this game if you're Tennessee. And this is the moment where if you're Georgia, you could potentially find some passing game through the season. You brought in a guy like Zachariah Branch, you haven't utilized him
Hmm.
this year. This is the game to do it. Take the top off the field with him, let Gunnar Stockton let it loose and see what we got. Because right now, all you're seeing is, yeah, he is throwing the ball, but like you said, it is against Marshall and another, cupcake team. We need to see what he can do against a legit SEC team. And can he go out there and, lead this team? So I think that we're
Yeah.
going to see maybe a slightly different offensive, game play because Tennessee's defense, their strength is going to be their front seven. Their
Yeah.
weakness right now, if those guys are healthy, this defense is legit. But without your starting two corners, it makes things a little bit more difficult, especially with some of the speed that Georgia has on the outside.
Yeah, I think my biggest question on this one is what does it look like for the true road game to ramp up all those things? And if you do potentially make them a one dimensional team, what does that
Hmm.
do? For
Yeah.
making Georgia a one dimensional team, because it's always sometimes you outthink yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, two corners out, we're going to pass the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball, and then you find yourself we can't run the ball effectively. We're one dimensional, and
Hmm.
if a couple picks or anything like that happen, it's like what do you do now? Uh, how many touchdowns? Random question here. How many touchdowns does Zachariah Branch have so far in his career?
Oh, not a whole lot. I wouldn't think. I know he has.
Dang.
I
Yeah.
know he's got a couple punt return, maybe
Hmm.
if those count, but I would say three.
Yeah. Coming into the season, it was three. He has one so far this year. And in big games, even if I look back to last season with USC, in the big
Hmm.
matchups they had against really good teams, zero touchdowns. I agree with you. I think they have to figure out a way. He's a year older. He
Hmm.
should be able to take advantage of a team this year, but give me the home team. I can't believe we're disagreeing on so many of these picks right now. This is literally never, ever happens. But give me
Yeah.
Tennessee to win this one because I do think I mean, well, I don't think Georgia won 28-6 last week, and I haven't seen them explosive in the run game. They
Yeah,
haven't
no,
chosen a guy. They had 4 rushing touchdowns last week, but I have not seen it.
no, absolutely. And like I said, this is the moment where we see, what these two teams are made of. Like, does Joey Aguilar have that ice water in his veins to go take on a top team
Mhm,
and do what he's been doing all season? Because
mhm.
going into the season, this is, someone that, we talked about and we're like, okay, you got Joey Aguilar, okay,
Okay.
Appalachian State guy hasn't really showed a whole lot, and now he's shown a completely different version of himself here with Josh Heupel and Tennessee. So really, I think it's what quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes and can keep the football and make the plays, because you got two quarterbacks like Gunnar Stockton really hasn't had much go in his career. Yeah, he got to play in the playoff game last year because of the injuries.
Mhm.
But Joey Aguilar, I mean, this is his first real taste of Power Four football and SEC football against a defense that is always one of the tops in the country.
Yeah. Well, outside that, there is Texas A&M and Notre Dame. This is in Indiana, Notre Dame. Where's that stadium even at? I can't even remember. What's it called?
South
Oh,
Bend.
it's just Notre Dame, South Bend. Yeah, yeah. Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. So this one, Marcel Reed, kind of pretty good start so far for the season.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas A&M is this one of those that we expect good things and they do what they always do because they go on the road? Is it Carr? Does he have to step up and have a big game? He hasn't done that yet. Or can Notre Dame finally get some offensive identity? They did not have a game last week. They only have had the one game so far, so they've had 2 weeks to stew on the week. Was it week 1 loss to Miami?
Yeah. No, yeah, I think this is a very typical Texas A&M game where people are going to be like, oh, well, Notre Dame lost to Miami. Carr didn't play great until latter part of the game. Texas A&M's going to go in and take care of them, and they're probably going to disappoint us like they always do. So I'm going to take Notre Dame because I think Marcus Freeman and the offense coordinator is going to be smart this time and not be dumb like they were in the Miami game and actually give Jeremiah Love the football. You got the best running back in college football. You
Yeah,
got a young quarterback. Give him the football. Once they
yeah.
started giving him the football, he had 4 carries up until the middle of the third quarter. From the third quarter to the middle of the fourth quarter, he had, I think, another 8 carries, and they scored 17 unanswered points to
Mhm.
bring back the game. And
Yeah.
then they decided on the last couple drives not to run the football again.
Mhm.
Give the dude the football
You
because
go.
he is a
Mhm.
game changer.
Yeah.
Take that pressure off your young quarterback and let the guy go out there and do his thing. So if they're smart, they are going to feed him the ball 25 times on the ground, passing,
Absolutely.
whatever, just because he is an incredible receiving running back also. Give
Mhm.
him the ball, give him the touches, and I think that you'll see the relief and the pressure come off your young quarterback and help maybe propel you towards the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, and last week, Texas A&M played against UTSA.
Mhm,
Robert Henry Jr., 16 carries for 77 yards. Yes, he had the 75-yard touchdown run,
mhm,
but take that one out, he had 15 carries for over 100 yards. Absolutely. I want to
yeah,
pick Texas A&M in this game just because of Marcel Reed, and I
yeah,
still really love the talent profile on it. But no, give me Notre Dame for the same reason. Freeman's too good of a head coach to make that mistake
yes,
yet again, and you had 2 weeks to get him fully healthy, if that was a concern, get him
mhm,
as healthy as possible, and then just run the ball. Allow Carr to
yes,
do a lot of play action, and then you'll put
mhm,
yourself in a much better position. Plus, it's at home, so if they can't run the ball, though, then no, give me Texas A&M to pull off the upset. But I think there's too many things that have to go right for Texas A&M.
yeah, I think so too.
Now, quick picks. You got Houston and Colorado today. Who you got?
Give me, oof, I want to, the
Why have you been
Colorado
thinking about this?
just because the Colorado situation is weird because they have gone through their third string quarterback.
Yeah, but I
Ryan
think
Staub is now the starting quarterback over
yeah,
Caden Salter and your young Juju Hawkins that, everyone glorified this 5-star quarterback. Well, he was number 2 on the depth chart and you just jumped over him.
yeah. Well, he's a
So,
freshman, so I get
yeah,
that part of it,
I'm
but
just, I'm just saying, if that's the case, then why wasn't Staub the number 2 quarterback to start the
That's
season?
also fair. Very fair.
So
Yeah.
I don't think Houston has a whole lot for them. This should be a Colorado win, but I'm
Well,
not
Houston's favored
completely.
somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because that defense of Colorado is the same defense that we've seen where they can't stop anyone on the ground.
Yeah.
They have no run defense, and if Houston can establish a run game, I don't know if Colorado will be able to stop them because they don't have that high-powered offense that they had the last couple of years with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and the plethora of wide receivers that they had. Yeah, they had no run game, but Shedeur Sanders could throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in a blink of an eye. You don't have that this year. So if they can't stop that run game, I don't know if they have a powerful enough offense to just stay, shot for shot with someone.
Yeah. What about Alabama, Wisconsin?
That's Alabama. Wisconsin's without their starting quarterback.
Yep. Not looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then how many points does USC put up this week?
Who are they playing? Purdue?
They put up, just for the record, 59 and 73 so far in their first 2 weeks.
I'll say they'll put up 45.
That was the number I was going to say was 45. Purdue, not a good Big Ten program right now. So it's a good way to start for USC to go Purdue and then Michigan State before they go on their toughest stretch with Illinois, Michigan, and then Notre Dame, and then at Nebraska before. They have this USC team. We'll see if they're actual for real or not here pretty soon. But Oklahoma, Temple, who you got? I'm just kidding. Just OU to cover the spread. How about that? Did they win by 24 points?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, watch out for John Mateer. This dude just come on. It better happen. Come on. It's so nice.
The guy is a different animal.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's move on real quick. We can go to the NFL if you're cool with that, unless there's any other matchups that I haven't hit so far. Not a whole lot of conference ones.
Yeah.
There's nothing mixed up. So, how about your Packers? You feeling pretty good?
Oh, wait. There is one I think we need to talk about. Georgia Tech, Clemson.
Oh, I missed that one. Oh,
Georgia Tech, Clemson this weekend. This is a crucial game for Clemson to try to right the ship, because if not, this is the team that, one of the teams that we both thought could rival Clemson for the ACC. And the way Haynes King is completely healthy now, I picked Clemson to win the national championship, and the first 2 weeks have not made me feel comfortable with that pick. The way they played against Troy last week, the way they played against LSU, LSU, you can kind of give some, okay, LSU's a national championship contender. That's okay. But the way you played against Troy last week, there's something missing, and it's the run game for Clemson. You don't have a true running back.
Yeah.
Your starting running back is a converted wide receiver who just doesn't look super comfortable being a running back. I think there's a good chance Clemson loses this week and Georgia Tech gets the big upset.
Haynes King, if they can control the ball, I would not be surprised. Is that in Clemson?
No.
Okay.
It's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Tubby called it first. No one else called it yet. Tubby did.
Yeah. So watch out.
All right. Now your Packers. You repping the Packers hat in case people can't tell. Another suffocating defensive performance. They gave up 15 garbage time points is essentially what I'm going to say. It was not that. It did not feel that.
No.
It felt very similar to what it did against Detroit.
Yeah. Except Detroit didn't score 2 garbage time touchdowns at the end. Yeah, they only scored 1. The Packers defense, if this is the defense that is for the rest of the season, this is a team that no one's going to want to play, period, because you've played 2 of the best offenses from last year, first 2 weeks of the season, and you haven't given up more than 250 yards or 20 points.
Yeah.
The defense is on a different level. The secondary, like Keyshawn Nixon, give him his dues. Even when they threw to him, when they weren't able to get to Jaden Daniels, he had 3 pass breakups and only allowed 1 reception. The guy, talked all this, the last couple of years. Oh, I'm an outside corner. I'm not a slot corner. Give me the opportunity. Well, here's your opportunity. And he stepped up to the plate this week and made some big plays for that defense. And another guy, Lucas Van Ness, to me right now is the unsung hero. That the way he has played, and like I said before, take so much pressure off him and Rashawn Gary when you got Micah Parsons on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Van Ness has taken a big step forward and has played incredible the first couple weeks. And the thing is, Jordan Love, yeah, he threw for 292 yards and a couple touchdowns, but the deep ball still hasn't connected yet. He missed 3 early on. One to Tavion Wicks, where just out of his reach. Then he had Matthew Golden wide open, underthrew him, and then a couple drives later had Matthew Golden again once streaking down the middle, wide open, overthrew him. If he can get that dialed in.
Jaden Reed on one that got called back.
Yeah, he did hit Jaden Reed on that one, and then unfortunately lose Jaden Reed for several weeks, most of the regular season. But if he can get that dialed in with the way Jacobs was able to run again in the second half, help close the door, this is a legitimate Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah. For the record, I was very, very excited to see the garbage time touchdowns in our fantasy league because I had Ertz and I had Jaden Daniels. So that was good. And I did not start Terry McLaurin this time. I learned my lesson from week 1.
And then you got to look at the flip side for Washington. How much are they kicking themselves right now for trading Brian Robinson?
Yeah, that's why it's hindsight's always 20/20. But we both like Brian Robinson. We like the talent and just the fit in Washington. And now with Eckler down, I don't because they could not win the ball against the Packers. So maybe it gets easier the further you go. But good Lord,
yeah, I mean
it's another battle.
Because now your 2 running backs are Krosky Merritt, who is a rookie, and Chris Rodriguez, who has been a coach's scratch the last 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of the season. So they don't have much depth right there with running back. And so without Eckler, where does the run game come outside of having your quarterback have to run the football? And that's not the most ideal situation because of the injuries. And especially if you're a Washington fan, you have seen the things that have happened in the past with RG3 when you let him run wild and his career was ruined because of that. So they might be in the market looking for a running back, maybe on the trade market, or try to find a good veteran out there on the streets looking for a job.
It might be. It worked for Kareem Hunt last year. All right, let's get the Bengals Jags. Both are 1-0. Believability, though, I think from the Bengals is this the week that the offense takes back off and at least get some rhythm, or is this just, hey man, whoever doesn't turn the ball over more? I mean, this was such a bad performance from the Bengals in week 1. They have to take a step forward. They can't go backwards, right? Or can't.
No, I don't think the offense can go backwards the way that was as pitiful as Bengals offense you've seen in several years. Besides the first couple of weeks that we've seen over the few years, I think that we'll see them start to slowly ramp it up, and Jamar Chase getting more involved, T. Higgins getting more involved, and we'll see them kind of pick apart this Jaguars defense.
Yeah. How about Cowboys Giants? Both own 1. I don't know. We didn't even really talk about that Cam Scadaboo play where he just, looked like Toby Gerhart out there.
Yeah.
Peyton Hillis. That's who it was. Peyton Hillis is who it was.
Peyton Hillis. Just to mow him over. Yeah.
But we saw an offense from Dallas that honestly, if it wasn't for Jalen Carter's, error in what he did, 188 yards for Dak Prescott. Yes, 2 touchdowns for Javonte Williams, which I was grateful for on my fantasy team because I own him in every single league. But they didn't have a great offensive performance in George Pickens. And they had so much talent. Is this a game where you see the talent take off?
Well, I will give Dak some leeway because of the drop passes. I mean, CeeDee Lamb dropped 2 or 3 passes. He makes a couple of those. There's a chance they beat the Eagles week 1 because one of them was a massive drop late in the game, put him in, in the red zone. So I will give him that maybe his numbers don't show quite, how well he played outside of, the rest of the offense didn't really show up in the second half. I mean, Javonte Williams had the 2 touchdowns early, and then that was basically it for him. He didn't show any glimpses of a starting running back in the second half. So, I think that they'll win this game. I think we'll see a little bit more explosive offense for them. But also, you got to think, though, this Giants team, they lost to the Commanders, but they were able to slow down that offense too. So that pass rush is a game changer with Abdul Carter, Brian Burns,
Mm-hmm.
and Kayvon Thibodeau, and then you got Dexter Lawrence in the middle of that defensive line. That's a mean defensive line there.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a second.
No,
But the problem is they still have Russell Wilson. That
yeah,
is the
yeah,
issue.
yeah.
And
You still have him throwing the football. Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, you ain't gonna win
Have,
that game.
have you ever seen someone drop off a cliff that fast?
No,
It's bad.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe
The only
Carson
person I can
Wentz.
think of, yeah, Carson Wentz for sure. I was trying to think of who. Yeah, no, this wouldn't be a fair comp, but like Tracy McGrady because of injuries, so that's not fair. But it
Yeah,
fell quick.
yeah.
All right, well, let's go back to football. So we got the
Hmm.
Lions Bears both on one. Um, is this a revenge narrative for the Bears? I mean, we got it coming in with Caleb Williams, who got his first career rushing touchdown, which was great last week against head coach against his former team. So here we go. Who we got?
Tell me which Caleb Williams am I getting? Am I getting first half Caleb Williams, or am I getting second half Caleb Williams? If I'm
Get a
getting
bit of
second
both.
half Caleb, they're going to lose then, because they're
Okay.
going to need that first half Caleb Williams to show up every game and play the whole game. The second half for Caleb Williams was absolutely atrocious. Like
Mhm.
you went out the first half and you looked like a competent NFL quarterback, and then the second half you looked exactly the way you did the year before. And so I would think that this Detroit team's mad after the embarrassment that they had week one, the inability to do anything really. But there's also, how much of it is the Ben Johnson effect on that offense, not being able
Mhm.
to be in that groove. So maybe closer than people expect, just because
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to expect from this Detroit offense right now. How long does it take them to get into the groove of a new play calling system?
Yeah. I hope it's quick just for their sake because, I mean,
Hmm.
the Lions have never had the window open like it has been in the last 2 years. And
Yeah,
for it to absolutely slam shut like it could potentially just snowballs, which would be a very Detroit Lions thing to do.
yeah,
So get it right. I think Dan Campbell is going to have that team really locked in, probably to establish the run to wear
yeah.
down this Bears team. So we'll see. But again, when you lose offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators, it is a tough turnaround.
And the thing is it's not just offense coordinators and defense coordinators. It's offense coordinators, wide receiver coaches, running back
Yeah,
coaches. You lost other position coaches
yeah,
too, because they went to these teams because they had the familiarity, went and took
hmm
offense coordinator jobs, or whatever it was at
yeah.
these other teams. So there's a lot of moving parts on that coaching staff. And then for Detroit, you lose your starting center, and you could tell that it was a big factor last week, not being able to run the ball up the
Yeah.
middle at all.
Well, yeah, and that's the tax of being
Yeah,
successful in the franchise in any kind
it
of
is.
high level
Hmm.
football or college or NFL. But
Yeah.
there's some other games I don't think a whole lot of people are really interested in. Uh,
Hmm.
so maybe just give me a quick thought, or if you're going to watch it, here's one reason to watch it: Falcons versus Vikings Sunday Night Football.
Young quarterbacks.
Right.
Do we get the same performance we saw from Michael Penix week one? I mean, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Penix I thought played incredible week one. They lost because kicker couldn't make a field goal.
Come on, dude.
Then
One job.
McCarthy seemed to get things together in the second half. I'm still not completely sold on him, just because I think the Bears gave that game away. I don't think that they took it from him. So
Mm-hmm.
a chance to see these young quarterbacks and see, can they are they moving forward, throughout the season, or was it just early on? No one's really seen them a whole lot, so it's not as, it's harder to game plan type situation.
One reason to watch the Ravens and Browns.
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, that's about it.
No, Joe Flacco against his old team.
No, but I will say they do seem to always give the Ravens a fit for some.
It's that AFC
Yeah,
North right there. That's
yeah,
what it
for
is.
some reason. So maybe 11.5 might be a little generous just because of the past of what we've seen. But I ain't turning this game on to watch Joe Flacco throw the ball to Cedric
Dude,
Tillman.
I would agree. There's a lot of games this week that I'm like, I really don't have a whole lot of interest in. Steelers, Seahawks, Aaron Rodgers, does he get to 175 yards passing?
Yes, just because
Okay.
it doesn't sound like Devon Witherspoon is going to play for the Seahawks or Nick Emmanwori are going to play in the secondary. So you lose 2 of your starters in the secondary for the
I
Seahawks.
didn't hear that about Nick Emmanwori. That's a tough blow right this quick. Bills, Jets. How many maybe the thought is, can the Jets keep this close, or is this Josh Allen just going to run away with this one?
I think they can keep it somewhat close just because we saw what the Ravens were able to do running the football. And the Jets had a really good week 1 running the football. Ed Oliver is out for this game for the Bills, so there goes your big linchpin on a young defensive line with some big issues. And so I think they'll be able to keep it closer just because they'll be able to maybe control the clock a little bit more. And so it won't be as big of a blowout, but I still think the Bills win this game.
Yeah. Which Monday night game would you rather watch? Texans against the Bucks or Chargers Raiders?
Texans Bucks. I'll watch Baker anytime. I don't care.
Pretty sure that one's on ABC too, so it's going to give you that nostalgia factor right there. I'm like,
right,
give me that one for sure. And then maybe the matchup of the week. Fox is here. I think it is literally Fox game of the week. For the record, I went to lunch yesterday at work for a buddy. It was his birthday. And we went to Arthur Bryant's here, very famous Kansas City barbecue place. And as we were leaving, Fox NFL TV crew is coming in to scope it, make sure it was a good place for none other than TB12 to show up.
Oh, wow.
Just saying. Yeah.
So go scope out that barbecue joint, folks.
Just saying. It was pretty good, too. It was a pretty good place. So give a little shout out to Kansas City barbecue. It is really good. All right. Chiefs and Eagles. One of these teams desperately needs to make sure they win. Chiefs have only ever lost in the Patrick Mahomes era 2 games in a row, 4 different times. So like back-to-back games 4 times. That's it. After a loss, I think it's just an absurdly great winning percentage for them. They're at home and they're the underdogs. The Eagles are favored 1.5. I think Xavier Worthy somehow game time decision. I don't get that. Tell me who you got in this one. I got the Chiefs one. I can't believe that they're underdogs in this one. It's Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid after a loss. They're going to get it fixed.
This is only the second time in the last 69 regular season home games for Patrick Mahomes that he is the underdog at home. He's going to take that personal. I wasn't super impressed with the Eagles. The Chiefs will find a way to win this game.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, they're going to find something. It's going to be like some bizarre play or whatever at the end of the game. They'll sneak this one out because they will not go 0-2.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's gonna. I think if he can't play, he being Xavier Worthy, which I don't expect him to. I don't see why you push it.
No.
Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, which someone pointed this out. In my brain, Juju's like 34. He's 29. I don't know why in my brain he's 34. And he's obviously not. But I just think that they're going to have to – they're going to – I think the defense will lock it in. The offense, Juwan Taylor's stupid. And also, the second half of that game against San Diego – they were much, much more successful. They had figured it out, and I think part of the game plan on defense was you and I both would have game planned for 65% running plays, and they just did the complete opposite. So, again, we mentioned them in the previous episode. So, before we wrap up today's episode, Tubby, I know you may add something from the chat, possibly, because sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. But I do have a quick baseball thought. We got about 15 games. It's like 2 weeks left of the Major League Baseball season. And it's been a minute since we talked about it, but we feel pretty confident in I think the NL's. I feel pretty confident in the NL's opportunity for like teams there. I will say San Francisco has snuck back in a game and a half behind the wild card. So are the Reds. The Reds aren't going to do it, but the Mets are doing exactly what they thought they were. Padres keeping it afloat. Good for them. And the Cubs have found themselves losing the division to the Brewers, but the Brewers have definitely come back down to earth.
Yeah.
It's all NL teams, and I didn't talk about your Dodgers. I didn't talk about the Phillies. Who should be in the last 2 weeks? Do you have the most confidence in? Maybe rank 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. All right. So I'm as a Dodgers fan, I'm going to say the Dodgers just because they are the World Series champs. This is somewhat similar to the season that they had last year, where they kind of hit that rough stretch where the injuries were kind of building up. Now we're starting to see guys get healthy again, and I think that we'll start seeing them get into the groove. Mookie Betts seems like he's starting to figure some things out at the plate again, hopefully, because it's going to be desperate need for him to do that. Max Muncy is back. Tommy Edmonds is back. Roki Sasaki looks like he's ready to go also down in the minor leagues. So I think that they're starting to get guys healthy at the right time to make that September run to push into October. So I'll put them first. I'm going to put the Phillies just because, once again, I have a hard time putting the Brewers there just because they got so hot so early that it's hard to sustain that for a 3-month stretch. And I think that, like you said, we're starting to see them come back down to earth. They're starting to lose some steam. There's a lot of young players on that team, so it's a different situation, something that they haven't really seen. And so I'll put them 3 just because they are, the other division leader right now.
I'm gonna go probably Phillies, Dodgers 1 and 2, and then the third one isn't even in the playoff picture yet because I just don't have confidence. You could say technically the Padres. I just don't feel it. If San Francisco can sneak in, they could be this year's version of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm just throwing out there. They're a game and a half back. They're 74-7 due. But the people above them are the Reds that I don't trust, and the Mets, who are the Mets. They've lost 6 in a row. How many times have we said that this year? We haven't even talked about baseball that much since football's been back. So absolutely crazy to me to see that. The reason why I put the Phillies above the Dodgers is because the Dodgers are the World Series champs, and I haven't seen a back-to-back World Series champ in quite some time. So I'm just like, odds are against you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
One shout out to an NL team that we had not mentioned pretty much all season long. Colorado Rockies got to 40 wins. So congrats. Congrats on 40 wins.
Congratulations, you cracked the 40 mark.
All right, so in the AL, you got the Toronto and Detroit are essentially tied. It's about a half game difference between the two. Followed by the Astros, who last night, or 2 nights ago, after they swept the Cardinals, were caught by the Seattle Mariners. Have now caught the Astros for the division lead. Thank goodness. Good Lord. And then you have the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, and then either the Astros or the Mariners right there with Texas Rangers just two games back. And Cleveland, who had won quite a few, 3.5 back. But I feel like I don't trust Cleveland. So can Texas sneak in, and can you see Houston being the team that drops out? Please.
I mean, I don't. Every time we think this is going to happen, we talk about this. Oh, this is going to be the moment we see Houston start falling. And when we say that, that's when they start going on the run. So I'm going to say no. So I hope I reverse jinx them.
There we go. I'll take that.
The problem with the Rangers is losing Nathan Eovaldi was a massive loss because he was one of the best pitchers in baseball at the time of his injury. So that is a huge, loss for them going towards that playoff push. And then if they do sneak in, you lose a front of the rotation type guy in the playoffs where it's essential to have pitching, especially, 2 or 3 really solid pitchers for those first few games. So I think that they can, but like I said, I'm going to try the reverse jinx and say, no, Astros do not be the team. They're not the team that drops out. They'll make the playoffs. Then cross my fingers and hope that I'm wrong and them not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Blue Jays, are they for real?
No.
Okay. So you trust the Tigers more than them and the Mariners. So I would put my top 3 would be Tigers, Mariners, Yankees in that order at the moment.
That'd be my exact order also.
Okay. Look at the Mariners. Golly, that's because my team has neither of my 2 teams have any shot at making it at this point.
Yeah,
that's
but I especially we're seeing, the somewhat, I don't want to say downfall or slow play for the Blue Jays with Bo Bichette being out. And then does he get healthy enough at the end of the season, push into the playoffs? How healthy is he going into the playoffs? And is he still the same player that leads the major leagues in hits and, he's like 7th in batting average? Is he that same type of player? Because usually when we see these extended injuries and then they come back, and especially in that, high-powered, stressful playoffs, they don't seem to play quite like they did.
Yeah. Well, and then the final thing I want to throw out there before we kind of close up, we're going a little bit long today, but thank you all for
Yeah,
joining
that's
today.
right.
If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because we'll go
Mhm.
twice a week, both recapping the week and then predicting the weekend, all that kind of stuff. And we'll follow more baseball as we go into October because that is an incredible time to be a baseball
Yeah.
fan. I just want to be thankful as a Cardinals fan today. The one thing I can be thankful for is Pete Armstrong and Seiya Suzuki, Michael Bush, Dansby Swanson, Kyle Tucker. Even none of these guys got 30 home runs after the absolute monster of a first half they put up. None of these guys, only one of them has 90 RBIs. That's Seiya Suzuki has 91. I'm just
And
saying, we kind
what,
of
he
said
had
this was going to happen,
75 at the 78
dude.
at the All-Star break?
Exactly. We basically said the MVP. Go ahead and give it to PCA, and I'm like, what are you talking about? This
No.
dude is still young. We haven't seen him put it together. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
happy to be right. Victory lap. Now, if
Yeah,
they turn
victory
around and
lap.
win the World Series, I'm going to be really upset because I hate the guy. So, yeah,
That'd be the ultimate gut punch for a Cardinals fan this year.
yeah, 100% would be. So, all right, guys, that is the episode. That's the show. Tell me, did we miss anything?
So we got Cat Edits in here saying, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Joe Mama in here saying, "Go Buffs."
Oh, Buffalo Bills? Or no, Colorado.
No, Colorado.
Yes, let's
Then the
go.
Slide Prod said, "What's going on? What's the stream about?" We are a sports podcast, and we talk everything college football, NFL, baseball, and sometimes sprinkle in a little bit NBA, a few other things here and there.
Just a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit. Yeah,
But
absolutely. Well, thank you all for jumping in the chat. You're always welcome back. So we'll see you next time.
see ya.